saw the finish like everybody did on TV. What a huge win for the Orange.
Well, for Syracuse to shoot
here in Chapel Hill, and the Cardinals with the first possession. Donovan Mitchell, who's been playing great for Louisville, leaves his first attempt a little bit short.
Mitchell being guarded by Theo Pinson. That's a key matchup because Donovan Mitchell has not been good over his last 14 games. He has been great. All ACC good.
Justin Jackson has been great for North Carolina. Had 20 points in the win over Virginia on Saturday. 18 of them in the first half as he misses them. Each coach has won a couple of national championships. They've combined for 15 Final Fours between these two. Really coaching royalty in this ACC doubleheader tonight.
There's never been a league in the history of college basketball that's boasted these, this caliber of coaches at this.
Louisville is ranked 7th. Carolina ranked 8th.
You're going to see some different defensive looks from this Louisville team. They can play man. They can go with a matchup zone. They can press full court.
Isaiah Hicks fade away from the baseline, not there, followed by Pinson. Terrific effort of height that can really match up with Carolina.
They can match up height-wise, and this is the second best rebounding team in the ACC and second best offensive rebounding team.
Mitchell long on the three. Barry the push to Jackson. Crossover and had it rejected on his way up. Now the Cardinals come back with numbers. Coast to coast, the finish not there for Adele.
This is a track meet.
Somebody's got to break the seal, and it won't come here. Adele ahead to Quentin Snyder, and the Cardinals are on the board.
And that's the one area where North Carolina, I think, has to be very mindful throughout the course of this game. This is an excellent defensive team in Louisville. They do a great job of helping and recovering. They anticipate. They don't turn you over as much as some of Rick Pitino's teams in the past, but if you cough the ball up and give them easy baskets, you are making a huge error.
Still a very good defense.
Down to drive from the top of the key. Charges and turns it over. So North Carolina's coughing it up without getting a shot.
Good hands by Pinson, but Adele gets it back. Mitchell gets the switch, looking inside. And it will go for Mango Mathiang, the senior from Melbourne, Australia.
Screens, dribble handoffs, and then make them guard in the post.
So Carolina 2 minutes and 45 seconds in. Still scoreless. Meeks no. Hicks with a weak side rebound. Follow on the third attempt. The fourth attempt finally goes as Kennedy Meeks puts it home.
Kennedy Meeks is not an explosive leaper, but his second and third jump, he gets off the floor faster than everybody else.
Wide open, Mitchell. Jackson skies for the rebound for Carolina.
And when Jackson catches it, he can take it himself.
Barry with a floater. Meeks again.
Well, it's one thing to go rebound and to go after the ball. It's another thing to get into somebody's body, and it is tough to get into the body of Kennedy Meeks and get him out of the way in there.
Now a Louisville turnover. Numbers for Carolina. Pinson short on the finger roll, about 1.5 foot short, and back come the Cardinals. Adele way long on the three. This. Rick Pitino's gone to his bench. Hicks drives by Anas Mahmoud, can't finish, and back comes Mitchell. Bounce pass inside, and the reverse is good for V.J. King, the freshman from Cleveland, back after missing the Virginia Tech game with a bruised thigh.
He had a couple down games, but in the game against Virginia, V.J. King had 24 points, went 8 of 14 from the field. He's going to be an excellent offensive player.
Barry, step back jumper.
That's a hard shot. Well, you take a bad shot, it leads to a run out.
But then Snyder turns it right back over. Jackson.
Points. He said that he was in the gym every single day, at least twice a day, but also the game slowed down for him. So he understands if he's a good screener, then he's a good scorer, and things like that he didn't understand just a season ago. And that's the way that he's been able to up his efficiency on offense.
All right, Maria, thank you. Mitchell with the lay-in for Louisville. I feel like the broadcast has slowed down for you this year.
Yeah, I think it has. I spent a lot of time in the gym this summer working with people that don't let me talk.
To get you ready for the regular season. Yeah. By the way, you may have heard just when we came out of break, rejection by Mitchell, saved by King, but right into the hands of Jackson, and then another. What a win for the Orange. Lob and Mahmoud over the top for the finish. Louisville now up by 6.
Boy, really good job to put this North Carolina team, especially the big guys, into ball screen situations. And Jalen Johnson did a nice job of ducking in. That way they couldn't take that lob away. Open side lob. This is a well-drilled Louisville team. You know they're great defensively, but the last 12 games, Dan, they have really improved on the offensive end.
Mitchell a little bit strong. 15 with 4 turnovers so far. One of the best offensive teams in the nation has been far from that so far. And for Louisville, in the game is Tony Hicks. He's playing for the first time in about a month. Suffered a fractured bone in his right hand as Jackson knocks down the 3.
North Carolina slowed down on that possession. The Tar Heels were going so fast. They were almost running past opportunities instead of giving the Louisville defense an opportunity to make a mistake.
Nearly stolen by Jackson. King pulls up for a very tough shot. Mahmoud will run it down. Boy, the length of his strides is unbelievable.
A year ago, Anas Mahmoud could not have made that move. That was outstanding.
It's like he's got go-go gadget arms and legs. One dribble, a couple of steps, and he's at the rim.
Go-go gadget, is that a Canadian thing? Here it's Inspector Gadget.
Ah,
isn't it?
I'm getting confirmation that I may be in the right on this one. Nate Britt. Ball still live, and it's these teams have it. Although Carolina's without Kenny Williams, out for the balance of the season with a knee injury. Louisville with the ball and an early 5-point lead on the road. They're 4-5 against ranked teams this year. Every loss the Cardinals have has come against a ranked opponent, including Virginia twice. Louisville 22-5, withstood injuries, most notably to Quentin Snyder, who missed some time. Mahmoud puts it on the deck, reverses it, no good. And coming up with it for Carolina, Seventh Woods.
A great movement by Louisville. Ball movement, player movement.
Is that the biggest reason why they're better offensively than they were earlier in the year?
Well, Rick Pitino thinks they've become a better passing team. Early on in the season, Rick Pitino thought that his team did not exhibit a high basketball IQ. That's another lob. But it's a team that has learned. It's learned how to play and learned how to make plays. Higher level. They're top 50 in the country if they're in their defensive efficiency over the last 5 or 6 games.
And Arizona beat UCLA at Pauley Pavilion earlier in the year, so the Bruins will be looking to exact a measure of revenge. Great touch pass from Luke May to Tony Bradley.
Basically off of a broken play. Louisville started out in that 2-3 zone. They can do so many things out of it. And they are very difficult. They can be very difficult to figure out when they're on the defensive end. They give you so many different looks, and they're so aggressive.
Snyder around a screen, can't knock down the jumper. Great offensive rebound by Spalding, and then Mathiang cleans it up.
Well, this Louisville team not without the ability to get second shots. Ray Spalding's got a 7'4" wingspan, and he's leading this team in rebounding in ACC games, averaging about 6 a game. Jalen Johnson, the leading rebounder, has not been rebounding at as high of a rate in ACC play.
And we're about to see something we've seen sporadically over the years from Roy Williams when he's unhappy with something that he sees on the court. He'll bring 5 different players in. Now, in this case, 4 of them happen to be starters who are getting ready to check back into the game. Backdoor cut, Snyder off to Mathiang, and it's rejected at the rim by Bradley.
When Dean Smith was coaching the Tar Heels, he'd make a full sort of line change. They called it the blue team back in the day.
Theo Pinson saying, "Coach, don't take me out," as he knocks down a 3. Now good ball pressure by Bradley. Mathiang needs help. And a
closely guarded call. The defense can.
Roy Williams does indeed bring 5 new players in, 4 starters and Stillman White. Jackson slices to the basket and ties the game.
As poorly as North Carolina has shot the ball, for them to be tied at this stage of the game, pretty solid.
And Snyder Here's the kick. Mitchell too strong on the three, and Jackson seals off Adele for the rebound.
Well, good block out. North Carolina came with the quick trap. A little bit of a scramble.
What a friendly bounce for Justin Jackson.
See, Dan, this is where I think North Carolina can set itself apart, and that's when they play high-level defense.
Snyder Michelson now has 76 threes on the season.
He's on pace to catch up to Shammond Williams back in '98.
Hicks in the post. And watch ESPN. Jackson and Mahmoud just did what he does best with a block.
I was still trying to figure out what Mahmoud did wrong when to get that foul other than be in good position and be big.
Rick Pitino goes to Jay Henderson, who fires up an air ball. Another chance now, though, for Louisville. Off the glass. Misses the free throw. Carolina leads by 1. For Carolina, what's at stake? A win tonight. They're 2 games up in the ACC. Stillman White banks one home. Rarely gets a chance to play. The senior out of Wilmington in North Carolina, but he got a chance to get in there. But Roy Williams was unhappy with the group before, and he knocks down a jumper.
Yeah, Stillman White may not play much, but when he gets in, he usually gives this team a lift.
Snyder off to Johnson on Isaiah Hicks, his second.
End up fouling out of that in just 7 minutes.
Johnson, who's a 63% free throw shooter, missed them both. Pinson open. Henderson ahead to Adele. Full head of steam in the lay-in. Tough to slow him down in transition.
Boy, that was a great job of Louisville getting it down the court quickly.
And a bad job of Louisville stopping the ball at the other end.
North Carolina has always been really good at taking the ball out of the net and running it back up while you're celebrating or enjoying the fact that you just scored. They're laying it in on you.
Ball still loose. Johnson comes up with another rebound. Louisville getting chances on the offensive glass. Snyder no. Ball still loose, and it now belongs to the Tar Heels.
Boy, Johnson and Luke May were going at each other for that ball.
Louisville as a 2. Do you think somebody out of the ACC is getting a 1 seed this year?
Yes. Traditionally, the ACC champion is going to get a 1 seed. At least it's happened the majority of years. In the last was a 1 seed for quite a while now. I've never understood why their ranking has been as low as it's been.
So Villanova, Kansas, Gonzaga, Carolina would be your 4 1 seeds right now.
Yes.
And Louisville firmly on the 2 line right now?
Yes.
Adele takes a bump, can't finish. Pinson corrals the loose ball for the Tar Heels. Long bounce pass. Jackson.
Justin Jackson has, but
game. He missed the first 16 games with a broken bone in his foot. Came back and played 6. Then he was hurt again. Suffered a lower leg injury, missed 3. But now he's come back at about the same time that Kenny Williams went out with a season-ending knee injury. Pinson, his assist-to-turnover ratio is great. He's rebounding. He's defending. 7 points per game and 19 minutes per game. Snyder, Barry stays right with him. Good defense there by Joel Barry, and the shot clock running down. Pull up by Mitchell. That is tough to defend.
Well, especially since he got a switch and Tony Bradley had to stick with him. That was a good job to put Bradley into a little drive, get him backing up, and then just pull up because Bradley wasn't able to stop and recover.
Barry over Spalding, who was guarding him way out on the perimeter, and Joel Barry with his first points of the night.
Well, Joel Barry has added a different dimension to this team with his three-point shooting this season. One of the top three-point shooters in the ACC by percentage, shoots just under 42%. That's his 64th three of the season.
Adele playing well here tonight as he knocks down a jumper from the elbow.
Well, he's played well over his last several games. He's really started to pick it up offensively, and he hasn't really come out of many games lately. He's playing like 38 minutes a game over his last 3.
How good is the Adele-Jackson matchup on the wing? Now a switch. Jackson over Spalding, and back comes Adele in transition, going all the way. Wow.
Boy, as he was coming up the floor, I was thinking, hey, Donovan Mitchell's wide open. Forget that.
Barry answers with a 2.
North Carolina doesn't give you very long to enjoy your accomplishments on the offensive end. They get the ball up the court so quickly. It puts a ton of pressure on your transition defense.
I have a feeling which one of those last 2 buckets, though, we're going to see going to break at the other 4 media timeout.
Well, SportsCenter likes to use a lot of like bounce passes. Throwback jersey, that's the same number worn by Rodney McCray. Looked a little like Rodney McCray there with the height and the throwdown.
Brandon Robinson into the game now for the Tar Heels. Good defense by Spalding. McDonough told me all about you. Spalding with a size advantage over Pinson, and he takes advantage.
Right, Louisville looking to get the ball down low. This is a smaller lineup right now for North Carolina, and it is somewhat of a thin lineup. The only big guy in the game for Carolina is Kennedy Meeks. And it is not the best offensive lineup that Carolina can put out there.
Barry trying to use the screen from Meeks. Boy, that is a tough layup.
Boy, it looked like Quentin Snyder got a piece of that. I don't want to say to knock it in the basket, but it looked like that was hit.
Snyder keeps the dribble alive.
Good fake by Mitchell.
Snyder again forces it up and in, and the Cardinals back within 2.
Well, he just barreled right into Joel Barry, and Barry was shaken up a bit. That was a tough play by Quentin Snyder.
He's had some big games for Louisville this year. Played very well in the Kentucky game that we saw.
That had to have been his best game.
Yeah.
That was the first 20-point outing by a Louisville player of the season.
Meeks
lost it on the way up.
And Louisville with a chance to tie or take the lead as we move into the late stages of the first half. Mathiang spins on Meeks, reverses it in to tie it up.
Boy, what a move by Mango Mathiang. And Kennedy Meeks just standing straight up, needing to get down into stance. This is a big 2-minute stretch right now as we go toward halftime.
Cardinals have hit their last 6 shots from the field. Deep one for Barry.
Wow. Louisville went to man-to-man. That was deep. Now right now Barry getting mismatch inside.
Ball's on the deck. Barry dives.
Is home to house all the championship rings from 13 Big 12 titles in a row. It's ridiculous.
Which will tie UCLA for the all-time record, right? All-time conference championship, regular season conference championship record. UCLA did it 13 in a row, I think 67 through 79, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, back in the Pac-8 days.
Meeks bullying his way inside. You mentioned Saturday in the Virginia game, has a chance
of rebounds a game.
Makes them both. Hamstring injury about a week and a half ago. Adele, a very strong first half of the Cardinals. 8 points, 6 rebounds. Ball knocked away.
And Mitchell got Tony Bradley to switch off on him. They're trying to get these Carolina big guys to guard on the perimeter.
Pinson looking inside. Meeks got the rebound, lost it. It's on the deck. Pinson comes up with it, has it rejected, and now here come the Cardinals.
Everything challenged.
Adele hands it off, still loose, and Mitchell's out of
15 rebounds in that game. 5 of them on the offensive end. Did a really nice job in his start against Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium. He's a 40% three-point shooter too. Of his game. Pass he made a little bit earlier in the game.
Freshman from Sarasota, guy with a great shot, who has scored 16 points in 14 minutes in Louisville's last 2 games.
Yeah, you can't let him have an open look. An excellent three-point shooter.
Ball screen Adele. Snyder the kick. Adele the shot fake. Pull up. Wide right. His career, Rick Pitino will probably reach that milestone next year, if not the year after. We saw Krzyzewski and Boeheim in the first game. What an outstanding ACC doubleheader here on this Wednesday night. Syracuse with a buzzer-beating win over Duke in the first game. Rather back into the game with the Tar Heels, so Hicks hardly has a chance to get back on the court. Snyder with a drive, rejected by Bradley.
Well, Tony Bradley is a good player now, and he's going to be a great player here. He just naturally keeps the ball high. When he catches it, he can block shots. He's a great rebounder. Instead of letting him get by and get all the way to the rim. You know, sometimes a guy's going to get just past you a little bit, but as long as you can angle him out and not give him a straight line drive to the basket, you can allow somebody like Bradley to come over and make a play.
Barry with a straight line drive to the basket, high off the glass and good.
And there's the aggressiveness that Roy Williams was talking to Maria Taylor about. Get a few more straight line drives themselves.
Mitchell, a relatively quiet first half of the Cardinals, 2 for 7, 4 points.
So keeps his eyes up, keeps his eyes on the rim all the time and doesn't take them off. You mentioned Donovan Mitchell and how he's not had a fluid offensive game. That's been because of Theo Pinson.
Meeks brings down another rebound. Barry in transition. Pinson with a drive, scoop and a finish. Largest lead of the night. At 7. Ryan McMahon into the game for Quentin Snyder. Donovan Mitchell rises up for a 3. Big shot for Louisville to try to stem the tide. Carolina with all the momentum coming out of the half.
Well, Justin Jackson was guarding Donovan Mitchell, and Mitchell before that shot 2 of 7 in this game. Only 4 points. And before that, I mean, North Carolina, we talked about them giving up so many points in the paint, but one thing perhaps we underemphasized, they only gave up 30 points in the first half.
Right.
That's not a bad defensive effort.
Jackson has it knocked away out of
trying to get the Carolina big guys to have to defend in the post as well. You know, one of the ways that you can go after people is make them guard.
Too easy, just too clean of a look off the high ball screen for Justin Jackson.
Yeah, nobody stepped in. Just melt against that screen instead of getting over it, getting under it. And anytime you got Justin Jackson, you want to go over that screen.
Does he have a chance to win ACC Player of the Year?
I think he does.
McMahon open in the corner, long on the 3. Spalding with a rebound, rejected by Meeks. Big fella bringing it up the floor, hands it off to Pinson.
Coming off a game they had 3 blocks against Virginia.
Mahmoud reaches around and takes it away.
Well, not the best pass, but Kennedy Meeks has got to hold off Honest Mahmoud. He's stronger.
Nice stop and go move there by Mitchell on his way to the bucket to bring Louisville back within 5.
You know, that would have been better if Justin Jackson had taken one more dribble down to the baseline and been able to get a better angle to get it into Kennedy Meeks.
Now Meeks turns it over, trying to execute a spin move. Spot has been coming off the bench last couple of games. Misses that free throw badly, to say the least. 54% on the season. Carolina still leads by 3.
Louisville doesn't have a made free throw in the game yet, do they?
No. They don't have a made 3 or a made free throw, right? They have 1 3. Excuse me, 1 3, no made free throws. Bradley per game because he plays behind the likes of Meeks and Hick
instead of running the Tour de France.
Couple of missed free throws, still a 3-point game. A lot on the line. Carolina a game up on Louisville atop the ACC standings right now as Mitchell knocks down another 3 and he's tied the game.
Well, how about that cross and step back guarded by Nate Britt? That was beautiful. It's a great individual move by Donovan Mitchell, starting to heat up. He's been great over his last 12 games. Shooting about 43% from 3. Much different shooter than he was last year. Last year he only had 18 threes on the season.
Jackson off balance. Follow no by Meeks. Saved by McMahon. Louisville looking for the lead. Mitchell. King. And here come the Tar Heels. Barry right into McMahon. Draws the foul.
UCLA is one of the truly elite game without dominating the ball. And that's not easy to do. Like, that's a team that shares the ball. They got 6 guys that average in double figures. They've got like 5 guys that can put up 25 on you in a single game.
TJ Leaf having an outstanding season as a freshman for the Bruins and overshadowed in many ways by Ball, getting so much of the headlines.
And Bryce Alford is having a magnificent year. He's never played better.
McMahon lob inside for Johnson. Bradley comes up with a loose ball for the Tar Heels.
Well, and that's where you have to finish. Louisville got exactly what it wanted.
Rick Pitino keeping McMahon in the game. Snyder on the bench. He got a talking to a couple of minutes ago. McMahon came in for him. May back into the game now for Carolina. Meeks has gone to the bench. Barry finds Jackson. Jackson pull up. And it will go. Boy, he's got a soft touch.
Well, he's such a good perimeter shooter. You have to respect it. And when he puts the ball on the deck, if you take the shot away, he's driving. And that mid-range shot, there just aren't that many players in the country that have the combination of perimeter shooting and mid-range pull-up that Justin Jackson can put out there.
Adele, who'd been on the bench for several minutes for the Cardinals, back in now. Mahmoud lost it, but Mitchell with a drive and a kick. McMahon wide open. In and out.
Brian McMahon's not going to get a more wide open look than that. And usually he knocks those down.
Staying with Britt, but Britt will. Looks like he's going to come out of the game right now, though.
There should be their 8th point if he makes this. And how about Nate Britt? Nate Britt shoots about 61% from the free throw line. I remember him in years past being a knockdown free throw shooter. Not shot it well from the line this year.
So Carolina the last 5 points after Louisville went on a run to tie it. They play on. Mitchell a deep one, his 3rd 3 here in the second half.
He's starting to feel it. And Theo Pinson went down. That got Donovan Mitchell's defender off of him just a bit and opened it up for that step-in 3.
He's got 11 of their last 13 points, and he's the Cardinals' high scorer on the season, 15.6 points per game. He was 5 for 7 from three-point range Saturday against Virginia Tech, scored 26 points in a wild game. Louisville hung on to win it 94-90 over the Hokies.
Who didn't make a 3 in that game?
Yeah. Virginia Tech made 17, right?
17, and then Louisville made 12.
Made 12, right.
I mean, both teams shot a combined 60% from three-point range.
May is fouled for Louisville as well. First physical intense game tonight here in Chapel Hill.
Well, North Carolina needs to be aggressive on the offensive end because they can get some fouls on Louisville. Louisville's got 16 fouls. It's free throws every foul from here on in. And North Carolina's still got a couple to give.
Pinson to May.
Nice pass.
Meeks' 133rd game.
You're getting to the final of the ACC tournament. The NCAA deep into the NCAA tournament. Number of teams fighting for the NCAA tournament. And that could be the capper. There are going to be a lot of elimination games in the first couple days of the ACC tournament. Wow.
Difficult.
Or by the dribble. Put Louisville in a position to foul. There it is. Slice cut. Screen for the screener.
He's calling for it. Woods can't get it to him. They reverse it.
A lot of switches.
Pinson. Yes! Another friendly roll.
Chris Collins has done an outstanding job. What I'm going to be interested in seeing is I think they're going to make it when they do. All the Northwestern grads that are going to come out to watch the game in their NCAA tournament game.
Many tough games. Georgia Tech.
Seth Allen comes off a ball screen. They go underneath it. And that's not the way Brad Brownell's teams want to play. And especially at a crunch time like that. But sometimes, you get in a bad place mentally, and bad things tend to happen. Weird dynamic.
Louisville now 0 for 6 from the at the buzzer by John Gillen, who finished with 26. So Duke is now 10-5, same as Florida State, same as Notre Dame.
Great opportunity there to move this out to a double-digit lead. This is a big possession right now for Louisville. Cardinals need a score.
Snyder to Adele. He'll rise up for a three. Doesn't get it. Meeks with a good rebound.
Well, how about that box out on Jalen Johnson? That was big time.
His 9th rebound of the game. Tried to get it to Hicks. Couldn't do it. Turnaround jumper is good.
It looked like he was going to dump it down to Isaiah Hicks, but great awareness by Kennedy Meeks and a soft touch.
Back to the bench with his 4th foul. Adele the drive and the kick. Snyder the extra look. Mitchell deep three. No. Johnson had it. Lost it. And then Mathiang tried to dump it off to Johnson instead of going up with it.
Yeah, he's got to go up, either get fouled or finish the play. You're not going to complete that pass. That was a sure turnover.
Jackson to Bradley. Bradley. Wild hook shot. Won't go, and it's out of ESPN.
Bucci and Levy.
It's a likable duo.
It is a likable duo. Just ask them.
10-point lead now for Carolina. Knocked.
Tar Heel big guys, Kennedy Meeks and Tony Bradley. We'd like to see North Carolina get the ball inside, play inside out.
Mahmoud fronting Meeks. Pinson baseline. Turns it over. Hicks back into the game for Louisville. Cradles it and lays it in.
Well, he really threw his body right into Justin Jackson, knocked him back, and Tony Hicks able to finish that play. Hicks transferred in from Penn as a 5th-year transfer.
And again, back tonight for the first time in a month. You can see he's got his right hand wrapped, playing with a broken bone in his right hand. Made a bit of a surprise return tonight. We didn't expect to see him as Meeks lays it into the other end.
Boy, how about the hard work by Kennedy Meeks to get that early post position? He was low, and he got the ball deep in the paint. That was a terrific job. That's what everybody means when they say do your work early. He scored before he ever caught it.
Adele misses the three. Pinson with a home run ball. Meeks off to Jackson. Bradley deep position, and he'll score again, and the lead grows for Carolina.
The Carolina big guys just outworking Louisville right now.
A win for Carolina. They are 2 games up on the rest of the league. Another miss from beyond the arc. Bradley misses the dunk, and they play on.
He was fouled.
Mitchell fouled at the. But they've got a pretty good resume
In this game, North Carolina is +9 for game. I mean, Louisville's got more field goals than North Carolina, but when you count the threes and the free throws, that's why the Tar Heels are winning.
Also +10 on the glass. Carolina arguably the best rebounding team in the country. Baseline floater, Joel Berry.
Now North Carolina's starting to play with a little pace. Now they catch the ball. A shot fake, drive, floater. Remember how fast they were going in the first half? It's like they were on speed.
Yeah, first 8 minutes was ragged on both ends. 7 minutes to go. Carolina by 12. A lot of traffic inside. Ball still live, and it belongs to the Heels. Jackson. And the rebound down to Spalding.
But Jackson does not hesitate when he thinks he's open. He's a tough cover.
Off balance shot. Mahmoud with the offensive rebound, lays it in with the left hand.
And Mahmoud has shown a left hand, right hand. He's put the ball on the floor. He's really improved as an offensive player.
And it's a 10-point game. Berry open in the corner. And
I like basketball better.
Louisville into the zone. Jackson drive, left hand, yes.
He's really got a complete game. Take away that shot, he will drive. You take away the drive, he's got a mid-range. He can catch and shoot. He's got deep range. And he's a good defender.
Much improved over a year ago. Now a junior. Spalding bumped and of Wake Forest as May will
and help make up for his absence. Kennedy Meeks has had to play extended minutes, and he's got to be a little bit tired in this one because he has worked really hard.
2 more missed free throws, so Louisville just 2 for 10 from the line.
Tough to win on the road when you can't make free throws.
Barry baseline, blocked from behind. Bradley again.
Well, he didn't finish. Tony Bradley just naturally keeps that ball high.
You know, at the end of the night, sometimes you look at the offensive rebounds Carolina had. Another missed free throw. This time it's on the front end of a 1-and-1.
And Louisville got to be careful with the ball here because Louisville's going to be looking to take some chances.
Barry the kick out to Jackson. Deep 3. And an ear-to-ear smile on the face of Justin Jackson as he backpedaled on D.
One of the reasons, just a complete basketball player. How about the improvement from his first 2 years to this one? Both he and Donovan Mitchell from Louisville have made great strides from last year to this.
Tipped by Jackson, and he's got it.
That's great anticipation on the fade.
What a big stretch in the schedule for Carolina. 6 of their final 8 regular season games as Jackson again anticipates, hustles, comes up with a loose ball, then turns it over. 6 of their final 8 regular season games against ranked teams as Adele misses a jam.
They just slipped off his fingers.
Carolina pounding Virginia.
In the end zone, yelled Patino, U-S-U-C-K.
So a frustrating night heading off the court for Patino to the end of the first half.
Performed at as high a level as I think he would have expected. Louisville has been playing much better than they have played in this game. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to North Carolina's defense. This has not been pretty, but it has been gritty. And North Carolina, you know, we've talked throughout the course of the year, if they could defend at a higher level, you know, who's going to beat them? I mean, their offense is so good. They can put points on the board. They play fast. They got big guys. They offensive rebound. If they could just get a few more stops per game. Well, I think you can see in the game that they played against Virginia on Saturday and this one against Louisville, this team can get down a guard when they want to.
They held Virginia.
But this year, they can score from all 5 spots on the.
1 of 2 for Jackson. 21 on the night. Cardinals came in having won 3 in a row. A loss tonight will drop them to 10-5 and in a 4-way tie for second place in the league. 2 games back of Carolina.
And Carolina, if they can hang on in this game, will be in the driver's seat for the ACC regular season title and the #1 seed in the ACC tournament. And that's with the most difficult schedule in the country down the stretch.
We mentioned 6 of 8 against ranked teams. They beat Notre Dame. They lost to Duke. They beat NC State. They beat Virginia on their way to a win tonight. And they finish at Pitt, at Virginia, and then home to Duke, as we mentioned, on the 4th of March. Hicks rejected by Mahmoud.
That's some length there.
Crowd appreciating the fact that Louisville didn't get anything easy in transition. Snyder, very limited factor because of foul trouble.
He's an 80% from the free throw line. And so to have a big guy that is that efficient, you want him on the floor more.
But really getting great play off the bench, whether it's Bradley or May. Great depth, 4 quality players for the 2 front court spots for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, the only thing that really hurts North Carolina is losing Kenny Williams. To have a guy that can stretch the floor and a good perimeter defender out for what's going to amount to the season, I think really hurts.
Mahmoud's length comes into play again as he comes up with a steal. Snyder. And Louisville hitting some threes late here. They've got it down to 8.
Well, North Carolina took their foot off the gas. And they've still got to be aggressive because Louisville can turn you over.
We're all #1 seed right now.
Put out, last week. And I was a little surprised.
The lead back to 10 after a couple of free throws from Nate Britt. Look at that rebound by Barry.
Yeah, I think Kennedy Meeks was looking at him afterwards. Great rebound, but I'm trying to get 1,000, brother. How about it?
Prime time package.
He score.
Crossover by Mitchell, and he'll slam it down with two hands, but still a 10-point lead in the final minute. Should have missed a couple of games.
Texas reopened it here at North Carolina. Made 1 3 all of last year, 27 this year before he got injured.
And again, a Carolina team.
Official has gone to see if the official was inbounds.
In 5. Duke, Louisville, Florida State, Notre Dame. That means conceivably 2 of those will meet in a quarterfinal matchup. You'll have a maybe top 15 matchup in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament.
Yeah, you're not going to have an easy path to the ACC tournament championship. You never do, but this year will be a lot of fun in Brooklyn.
Another win for Carolina. They'll go to 12-3 in the league, 2 games clear of everybody else.
And this one was not an easy one. They had to work for it.
And they'll let the shot clock run down. Is it officially over? I'm not sure it's